Tonight, emergency service workers and veterans take on an outdoor challenge and security ramped up in Whyalla.
With the latest from around the region, your nightly news with Louise Hedger begins now.
Good evening. Emergency service workers from across South Australia will take on an outdoor challenge this weekend in a bid to tackle stigma around PTSD and the effect it has. More than 400 emergency service workers and veterans, including members from Port Pirie, will embark on the 40-kilometre beach walk.
Walking 25 miles in the shoes of a PTSD sufferer. A handful of Port Pirie firefighters will be teaming up with other emergency service members and veterans this weekend, walking the suburban coastline of Adelaide in full uniform to help raise awareness and support for a serious cause.
We are starting from Seacliff Surf Lifesaver Club and we're walking up to Henley Grange via Largs RSL for lunch.
Initially starting with a trio of ex-military members, the event has grown into the hundreds, walking to heal wounds and open up on issues often too hard to discuss.
There was a lack of connection, we thought, between veterans and the members of the community.
For the crew of Port Pirie's MFS, the walk symbolises a changing culture.
Old school mantra of a cup of cement, that just doesn't fly anymore. And all the guys know that. I feel comfortable to be vulnerable around my peers.
Hoping to build support for those who often go unacknowledged by the wider community. This year even aiming at raising $30,000 for the walk's charity partners.
And a lot of guys can't continue with their work in the emergency services because they've been exposed to too much trauma and it hasn't been dealt with properly.
Dominic Beaton, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Port Lincoln has been chosen as the only country town in South Australia to take part in a community mental health discussion. The National Mental Health Commission visiting the coastal town next month, meeting with those with experience of mental illness. The public forum helping the Commission plan its 2030 vision for mental health and suicide prevention.
To have our say about the plan for 2030 from a regional perspective, what's working, what's not working, actually having some input into a plan.
You can register for the free event at the Mental Health Commission's website, and for support can contact Lifeline. Significant fossil sites of the Flinders Ranges will be protected under a new state government foundation. Ediacaran fossils found in the area are believed to be more than 500 million years old. The foundation will ensure these artefacts are managed for the education of future generations. The fossils have also formed the basis of efforts to make the area World Heritage listed. Centre Alliance Senator Rex Patrick has thrown his support behind the proposed Cape Hardy industrial port this week. The senator touring the proposed location, meeting with local representatives.
It's a priority port that's getting no priority. That's according to Senator Rex Patrick. The Centre Alliance leader flying in from Canberra to visit the site, trying to muscle support to get Cape Hardy up and running.
This has been an Infrastructure Australia priority project. It simply hasn't moved, and that's a problem that I have.
Exploration and mining company Iron Road purchasing 11 square kilometres for the proposed port. That's said to be roughly the same size as 76 Adelaide ovals put together.
So it's big enough for not only Iron Road and for any conceivable expansion, but big enough to have other industries want to come along and be part of it.
Hydrogen Utility already showing interest in the site, with the company wanting to establish a 200-hectare hydrogen production facility.
If you're actually going to build infrastructure, it is only logical and common sense that it be multi-user, multi-commodity.
The port could become South Australia's largest hydrogen facility, exporting to markets overseas, but the company's facing one big hurdle. They're still yet to secure funding.
The critical issues is for governments to say, yes, this is really a good thing to do and be supportive as well.
Sometimes it's important to kick in with a little bit of federal funding, which benefits all taxpayers in the long term.
The deepwater site making the port unique to South Australia, allowing for large Panama vessels to gain access.
This provides both jobs and economic benefit to communities, but in particular it gives grain farmers the ability to have an alternate port of exit.
Iron Road is hoping to secure funding for the port in coming months. Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Regional Development Far West is encouraging Spencer Gulf residents to shop locally to stimulate and support regional businesses. The message comes after retail turnover went down over the June quarter.
Love where you live, think and shop local.
Shopping locally, making sure that we're supporting our locals. And again, I appreciate we can't buy everything locally, but let's give the local a go first before we actually jump online and buy something there.
A recent conditions survey from the New South Wales Business Chamber has revealed businesses in the Far West and Orana are doing it tough. There's been a drop in capital spending and total profit. The whole region is trending downward. The RDA saying the dry conditions paired with no rain playing a major role.
And I think, we're all very aware that it's an extremely tough drought that's been going on for a long time, so we expect businesses to be doing a little bit tough.
The message is out for Far West shoppers to hit the local storefronts rather than the add to cart button.
We might spend a couple extra bucks when we buy something locally, but they've got bricks and mortar, they've got rent to pay, they've got expenses that online businesses don't have. Online businesses don't give back to our community.
The Far West gift cards is one initiative encouraging those in the Far West to shop local, redeemable at over 180 stores across the region. The Far West Proud website also giving plenty of insight into businesses.
There's nothing we can do about the drought. It's really about making sure we support our businesses to get through that.
Patrick Ryankey, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Outback house prices are on the move, with new figures showing an 11% increase year on year. The data collected by Domain shows the median price for remote properties has risen to $311,000. Experts say the growth is attributed to an influx of first home buyers entering the affordable market, as well as couples looking to swap their city lifestyles. Whalers Civic Park has newly installed CCTV units in a bid to curb vandalism in the area. The council says these cameras are just the beginning of a raft of security measures which will be implemented around the town.
A security upgrade finally complete. 16 CCTV units have been newly installed here, as well as extra lighting.
We can really deliver, hopefully, a safer environment for our community to enjoy this wonderful setting in Civic Park.
The equipment purchased from recently donated funds from the Safer Communities program. Problems at this local hub making tackling the issues faced here a top priority.
Ongoing vandalism, it's so disappointing because it's a cost to our community, and our councillors are really clear that we need to do more of this.
The cameras will be monitoring the park 24/7 with the vision sent directly to the Whyalla Police Station.
Police have the ability to move the camera to look at different parts of the park should they wish to traverse the cameras. So the police have the ability to obviously view the footage live.
Residents say that other parks need to follow suit with similar security measures proposed for Jubilee Park.
We're experiencing a lot more vandalism. People were reporting back saying, I'm feeling a little bit unsafe as I traverse through different parts of our community.
Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Still to come tonight, a sign causing chaos in Broken Hill and a warning against a tropical disease. Hello again. A massive steel Broken Hill sign on the outskirts of the city has been removed within 24 hours of it going up. City Council stepping in, ordering the sign's builder take it down.
Here one day, gone the next.
As a donation to council or a donation to the community or anyone that wants it.
Boss Construction claims the big Broken Hill sign was being stored on a block of land it owns. Despite that, council contacted Mr Bobos yesterday afternoon, telling him to remove it or face a fine.
I know when we first put it up, within half an hour, the tourists were pulling up and taking pictures, and everyone was sort of posing in front of it.
Council says a development application had not been submitted for the structure, the situation unfolding as it waits for final approval of its new Welcome to Broken Hill signs. Mr Bobos says his idea was to never detract from council's plans, saying the sign could be placed anywhere. His first suggestion on top of the line of load as a mini Hollywood sign.
We have, contacted CBH about it. They were quite interested in it. Putting it up there, or I think across from the visitor centre would be another good location, or the airport maybe.
Boss Construction picked up the sign this morning, taking it back to its workshop. Patrick Ryankey, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Health professionals are urging more women to check for breast cancer. A recent survey from the New South Wales Cancer Institute finding 65% of women think they're not at risk of having breast cancer because they don't have a family history. But they say recent figures reveal 9 out of 10 women who are diagnosed have never had it in their family, reminding women to have a mammogram every 2 years. Health authorities are urging South Australians to visit their doctor before travelling overseas due to an alarming spike in malaria cases. So far this year, the state has reported 28 cases of malaria compared with just 5 the same time last year. Similarly, there's been a 24% increase in dengue fever-related cases. Anyone planning to travel overseas is encouraged to visit their doctor for travel medicine and advice. While Good Samaritans are donating their time to pick up supermarket produce which has been deemed unsellable to help feed those in need. The program also aiming to tackle food wastage at our major supermarkets.
Supermarket seconds put towards a worthy cause. Local Whyalla volunteers picking up this produce 4 days a week.
It was yesterday's bread and they can get it today for free. You don't get that very often, but wow, they really, really appreciate it.
The food donation partnership is between Second Bite, Coles and ADRA, and the service is in high demand.
23,000 kilos in the last financial year, which that equates to 46,000 meals.
And we make soups and we make spinach pies and pies and veggie rolls.
Businesses are encouraged to follow this eco-friendly path.
A step in the right direction to reducing landfill, and Coles is on the right track by donating it out to the community.
Anybody who has good edible food that can assist others to be able to partake in the program.
Volunteers welcoming those who are doing it tough.
Anybody, absolutely anybody can come, and if they've got a need, they are welcome to take something.
A rewarding cause, helping those in need.
Some people are just paddling so much, you wouldn't believe it. And, and they're just so appreciative.
Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Port Augusta's youngest gardeners have got their hands dirty as part of National Tree Day. Organisers say it's important for the school students to realise the impacts of creating a healthy environment.
Taking the learning out of the classroom and into the garden. These students are swapping history for horticulture.
I think it's just good to educate the kids that, planting trees is important, looking after the environment.
As part of National Tree Day, North Point Toyota and the Port Augusta Council partnering with students to plant more than 250 trees at the Arid Lands Botanic Gardens.
Tap him on the... That's it. Now, there you are. See, it's easy.
Digging in the ground, planting the tree and something they will be able to come back in years to come and see what they've done.
Get away from the classroom, get to do some things with nature.
The young gardeners using plants native to the Port Augusta region.
All the plants here at the garden are grown in under 300mm rainfall, so they're all the arid zone plants, so important to this area of Australia.
Students well aware of how their hard labour today will benefit the environment of tomorrow.
Because since there's so much pollution in there, need more trees to keep the air fresh.
We're all joining together to help these young kids understand what they can do for the environment.
Crews will be getting their hands dirty again on Sunday, with a number of garden goodies planned for the Family Fun Day. Garth Burley, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us after the break. We'll have this week's footy tips and the weekend weather with Britt. Welcome back. Let's hear from the experts now with this week's footy tips.
Hello and welcome to round 12 of SGL football. This round sees Solies make the trip to Port Augusta to face South at Central Oval. South are sitting in their customary position at the top of the ladder, with Solies sitting third. I'm tipping South. In Pirrie, we've got 2 games, with Port hosting West at Port Oval and the Lions taking on Central at Memorial Oval. Port are still looking for their first win and will be keen to do so on their home deck. West have lost their last 3 matches and will look to stop that this weekend. I'm tipping West. The Lions are having a great season in second, with only percentage separating them and South. Central had a great win over Solies last week in tough conditions, but will find Lions a much harder opponent. I'm tipping the Lions.
Just a handful of games left in Whyalla football this year. Some big games this weekend, especially Rapina versus Roona Bay on Saturday. Roos can still make the finals and they need to beat the Bays to do that, but I think Roona Bay got a little bit too much depth. Big game on Saturday as well, West Whyalla versus North Whyalla. North tend to play better against West at Memorial Oval, so they'll start favourites here. And finally on Sunday, it's Central Whyalla versus South Whyalla. Unfortunately for South, I can see another big win coming up for their opposition Centrals.
Welcome to Port Lincoln Footy Tips in round 11. We kick things off at Centenary Oval where Lincoln South are hosting Bostons. This should be a pretty tight game. Both teams are at the bottom of the ladder but playing better footy in the last few weeks. I'm going to tip Bostons to win this one, but win this one in a close one. In the next game, we've got Mallee Park hosting Marble Range. These teams have been pretty close all year, but I think Mallee Park are going to be too strong at home. I'm tipping to win this one by 6 goals. In the next game, we've got Waybacks versus Tasmans at Ravendale Oval. Tasmans have bounced back after their first loss of the season and should win this one and win this one comfortably. So I'm tipping them to win this one by 6 goals.
Round 11 of local football in Broken Hill, and what a cracker of a game at Jubilee Oval. North play West. West, for the first time since 2007, have the chance to go minor premiers. Last time they played, North got up by a solitary point. Can they beat the Robins again at headquarters? I think they can. The Bulldogs are starting to get momentum. I think they can beat West. At Alma Oval, South and Central. South are looking at top spot on the ladder. The Magpies yet to win a game in 2019. They won't defeat South at the Alma. Winners for mine. South to beat Central, and I believe North can just get over the Robins at Jubilee Oval.
Time now to take a look at what's happening in the weather this weekend. Britt, how's it looking?
Well, Louise, it's looking partly cloudy on Saturday with showers on Sunday, and I'll have more on that in just a moment. But first, let's take a look at today. Showers affected much of the region, with maximum temperatures sitting mostly around average. Port Augusta reached a top of 19, Whyalla and Broken Hill both 18, Port Pirie 17, Port Lincoln and Adelaide both 15. From the satellite, we can see a cold front crossing our region today with a high pressure system moving in its wake. Moving on to tomorrow now, on the Gulf waters, southerly winds tending southwesterly at around 10 knots with seas at 1 metre. And we can expect a mostly fine day with patches of morning fog. Port Augusta and Broken Hill expecting maximum temperatures of 19 degrees, Corn 18, Whyalla and Woodness 17, Port Pirie 16, Port Lincoln, Cleve, Kadina and Adelaide 15, with a top of 13 at Coffin Bay and Clare. Looking ahead to Sunday now, and we can expect showers over most of the region. Port Lincoln and Clare both with rain forecast on Monday and more showers on Tuesday. Woodness with heavy falls Sunday and Monday ahead of a fine day on Tuesday. Whyalla and Kadina both expecting showers on Sunday with rain on Monday. Port Augusta remaining dry, however, on Sunday, but expecting showers to start the new week. Sunday showers expected at Port Pirie and Clare, heavier falls on Monday. Broken Hill fine and mostly cloudy through the weekend and into next week. And Louise, that's it from me. I'll see you next week.
Wonderful, thank you for that, Britt. And that's your local news this Friday. Thanks for joining us this week. We'll have updates later, but until then, enjoy your evening. Good night.